Wait. When you get pregnant, your stem cells in the embryo feed your body to regenerate, and you are basically immortal? Can I have some? Ring, released in 2014 and is directed by Justin Benson and Aaron Moorhead, who have also directed such films like VHS Viral, Resolution, The Endless, and the soon-to-be-released Disney Plus MCU TV series Moon Knight. And the reason why we're talking about Spring today is because it was a PayPal recommendation and donation from one of my biggest supporters and contributors on this channel, Autumn Blood. You keep sending in all of these donations and recommendations, and I can't thank you enough. The reason why I picked this one kind of over the ones that you have previously sent in that I will be getting to, I promise, well, spring is actually this weekend on the 20th of March, so, spring is on Sunday. I want to talk about spring now, on Friday. I think that makes sense. After the death of his mother and a fight in a bar that could lead to jail time, Evan leaves California for Italy, where he falls in love for Louise, a young woman who he soon discovers is harboring a dark and primordial secret. And that was the official plot synopsis of this movie on Vudu, which I wanted that to be my official plot synopsis for this movie because I read it before watching it and it really intrigued me, and I think it's the best thing that I could give you without giving away spoilers as to what happens, because there is some beautiful things that happen in this movie. This is one of those movies that seems like it does the impossible by taking two different genres that you wouldn't think belong to each other, and they meld them together perfectly. This whole movie, in essence, is a love story. Like 99% of this, it's all about the love between Evan and Louise. And then you just have a little sprinkling, a little frosting of some horror. And part of me wishes I didn't know that. I wish I would have gone into this thinking like, oh, this is just a pure romance tale, and I'm actually liking these characters and the relationship, and oh, hey, they have their first night together. Oh, how lovely and how romantic that was, and oh my god, what is that white vampire succubus thing? I think that moment would have hit me so much more if I had no idea that this was a horror film. Just watching them get together that night, and then the next morning, probably gonna have that awkward thing, and then just go, whoa, what the hell? But for those of you who have seen this film, that reaction that I just had is actually kind of part of Louise's story, right? Because she is a very old woman, and she changes every 20 years because she gets pregnant, and the embryo inside her body feeds off of it, and she's able to change her appearance and use the stem cells to basically make her immortal and live out another 20 years as a totally different person. Which, as I said in my intro, again, I just want to say, could I have some? But what she actually is still mysterious, because I don't even think she knows. But what we do know is that she's always had trouble falling in love with someone. Which makes sense. When you're immortal and you fall in love with a mortal, that mortal is going to grow old and eventually die while you remain here on this planet. So, thinking about it, it's a very sad life for someone to have, which makes their relationship just so beautiful, because you start to see kind of the wall starting to be cracked a little bit, and Evan is trying to get in there and break down her barriers and trying to show her that it's okay to fall in love with someone, and it's a very beautiful thing to witness. It's a beautiful film to watch. Before I watched this about a month or so ago, I did watch from these directors a movie called Endless, and I was a little lukewarm on that one. There was some sci-fi stuff in there that I was like, okay, I'm not entirely following what the thing is, or why these people are able to loop, but then these people aren't, and I'm not getting a lot of the things. There's a lot of good stuff in here, but I'm just not following the story 100%. Here, there is still some unknowns, but I'm totally okay with that, because what I'm focused in, what I'm all in on, is the relationship between Evan and Louise. Because they're both empathetic characters, you feel for both of them. The film opens and we see Evan taking care of his mother, who is literally dying in front of his eyes, deteriorating, wasting away. And that's one of the most universal things that all of us either have experienced or will be experiencing, taking care of an elderly family member as their days kind of slowly tick off in the end. So you understand, and it's actually very inspiring to see him just take some time and take a trip to Italy on a whim, just to get away from the world that he knows and all of the drama that he knows, the fights and the trouble that he's getting into at work. Yeah, go escape. Go to Italy. However, that is horror film 101 of things that you should not do. You should never ever travel abroad, because if you do, you're gonna go off somewhere and find yourself in the middle of this weird, strange Swedish cult, and they're gonna gut you and put you inside a bear and then burn you in a building and put someone in flower crowns. Yeah, I watched Midsommar 2 years ago and it's still fucking me up. But you don't do that in horror movies. You stay home. You stay in the status quo. You stay in your own home where you know everything is. You go abroad. You don't know anything. You don't know how to speak the language. You don't know how the area works. You're gonna die! Lucky for him, though, he falls in love with this movie, so it's another great thing about this movie. It defeats that entire traveling abroad trope of horror films. I mean, he is gonna die eventually, or maybe he is going to die at the end of this film because something happens that I'm not going to spoil you on, and it's still a little confusing as to what exactly happens in the background, but, you know, it happened. But this relationship is great to watch, and it's great to watch bloom, seeing him make the decision of staying with Louise after he finds out what he is, or at least what the concept of her is, but then also trying to convince her that it's okay to fall in love, and to learn how to fall in love. Sometimes falling in love is very easy for people. Like for Evan, he falls in love pretty easily. But with Louise, to him, it's different. It's magical. He sees hope in her and never wants to leave her. But for Louise, she's been immortal for thousands of years. How can she be so sure that he is the one person that she could allow herself to fall in love with and to kind of get rid of this whole immortality thing, just spend the rest of her days falling in love with him and being with him? That is a beautiful story. That's a lovely story. Almost to the point where the whole horror aspect of this film just gets blown out the window because you don't need it. This is a romance tale. Do we have vampire, succubus, Frankenstein's monster, werewolf, mutated fish frog things in this movie? Yes, but it is a love story that I just love watching. I loved watching this movie. Shockingly, I didn't think I was going to love it so much. It's just one of those movies that transcends a genre, transcends multiple genres, takes them both, melds them together perfectly, and you get one hell of a story here. I'm going to give Spring 4.5 out of 5 Blu-rays.
It's good. It's good.
Alright everyone, it is Friday, so looking to the future and actually looking to spring on Sunday. Hopefully going to be watching a brand new film that came out today and is out this weekend called Operation Fortune. I have no idea what it's about, but it reminded me very much of The Gentleman, and I love The Gentleman, and I'm getting very gentlemanish vibes about this movie, so I'm very excited to see it if I can make it out there. If I can, I'll just randomly select from a movie on my shelf and we'll check it out next time on Monday. So guys, if you've seen Spring, what did you think about it? Or if you've never seen it before and you stumbled across because of this video, then comment below, let me know what you thought about it. And as always, if you like what you see here, if you like my take on movies, then hit the subscribe button and make sure you hit that bell. See you on the next time I release my next movie review. So guys, I will see you next time on the channel, but in the meantime, be well, be good to each other, and go watch a movie. Take care, guys.